Greece's latest offer to Europe lasted just a few hours before being rejected by Brussels. Prime Minister Alexis Tsipras agreed to raise his country's sales tax and promised to aim for a higher budget surplus. EU officials deemed the plan insufficient. Mr. Tsipras met with members of his party and called for unity as officials continue talks with European creditors. With the deadline for Greece to repay its debts drawing nearer, Finland's new finance minister admitted Europe is not looking to keep Greece in the Eurozone at all costs.
But I think the bottom line is that the ball is in the court of the Greeks themselves. And if they do not meet the conditions that were set on the 20th of February this year, I think we are in for a few very long nights. So we'll try to do everything in our power to keep Greece in the Eurozone. But, of course, I can't say this because I've been finance minister for 10 days only. But I'm sure there are a few finance ministers whose patience is running out.
Simos Anastasopoulos is here in New York. He is the president of the American Hellenic Chamber of Commerce. Thank you so much for being with us. You're, I'm sure, watching these negotiations very closely, as are all of we. Do you believe that Greece should stay in the Eurozone?
Definitely, I believe. Greece belongs in the Eurozone, belongs in the Euro. I think the mandate from the people during the elections was quite clear. In the Eurozone, in the Euro, no more austerity.
You're here talking to investors. They're very fearful. Why should people put money to work in Greece?
I wouldn't say that they are fearful. I would say that they are concerned. Actually, the sentiment today at the investment forum was quite good. We have record interest, more than 490 business-to-business meetings with all the companies that we have brought with us. It seems that people want to invest in Greece.
Is that predicated on the hope still that there will be a deal?
I am sure that this plays a major role there. However, I have to say that the private sector has proved to be very resilient, very competitive, and worth investing in.
But we've seen the economic figures. I mean, the economy is really struggling. And even if there is a deal, I think it's fair to say there is a stigma that Greece has a corruption problem and a tax collection or evasion problem. How do you change that perception?
Well, let me say that I think that the majority of the work has already been done. This is not 2012, when we really had a deficit problem. Today, the economy is still running with a primary surplus, so this is not a problem. Indeed, we need to reform our tax collection system. We need to reform our public administration. Justice needs to be expedited. The market needs to open up. Perhaps we need to touch the social security laws and labor. However, the country is not in such a bad condition. And if you exclude the payments that are quite significant and have to be done to the IMF and ECB within July and August, following that we have, I think, quite a lesser problem. Things relax a lot.
What type of investors are showing interest, and what do they want to invest in? Are they looking at infrastructure? What are the parts of the economy that seem attractive to them?
Actually, here in the investment forum in New York, mostly funds are attracted because we are presenting companies listed in the Athens Stock Exchange. This is a collaboration of the American Hellenic Chamber of Commerce and the Athens Stock Exchange. And so the companies are major companies listed in the Athens Stock Exchange.
How important is this private investment if Greece is to really heal long-term its economy? You can talk about getting a deal and extending the bailout and all that, but you need to really tool your economy for this next century. How important is private investment?
It is absolutely necessary because we cannot expect any more funding from the public sector in Greece. Direct foreign investment is extremely necessary for the country today.
Simos Anastasopoulos, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you very much for the invitation. A pleasure to be here.